Welcome back to Really Haunted Places. Tonight's top 7 ghost stories will take you to haunted places in Wyoming. Heart Mountain Relocation Center, located in Powell, dates back to World War II. It was used as a concentration camp for Japanese Americans during World War II, when Americans were driven to imprison their neighbors out of nothing but fear. Today, visitors report that you can hear footsteps and noises from shadow people that still roam these hallowed halls. Fort Laramie National Historic Site was a trading post in years past. Visitors have reported that the ghost of a cavalry officer likes to haunt the fort. Doors open mysteriously and footsteps can be heard. There's so much paranormal activity in this one spot that many consider it the most haunted site in Wyoming. Buffalo's Occidental Hotel was once an Old West saloon and bordello. It is now said to be haunted by the daughter of one of the prostitutes who worked there. The girl is said to have died on the upper floor of the building, and she manifests as a spectral woman in white with long dark hair. She has been known to move furniture around and is also said to be responsible for a variety of unexplained noises around the hotel. She has also been known to tap guests on the shoulder while they are sitting in the bar. Some guests claim to have heard her laughing and also to have heard some other disembodied voices suggesting that she is not the only spirit that is haunting the Occidental Hotel. The Wyoming Frontier Prison was the first state penitentiary and housed some of Wyoming's most violent offenders. Here, prisoners were hung and died in the gas chamber, not to mention the deaths that occurred as a result of suicide, riots, and murders. The prison is a hotbed of paranormal activity such as strange voices, cold spots, and apparitions of former prisoners. The majority of people who visit Yellowstone National Park come for the geysers, or more specifically, for Old Faithful. However, there is another must-see attraction in the park for those who have a taste for the paranormal, and that is Old Faithful Inn, one of the most haunted inns in Wyoming. The inn is actually made up of 2 different buildings, with the older part dating back to 1902. One of the reasons why the inn is said to be haunted is that one of the newer sections of the building, which is known as the West Wing, was actually built on top of some unmarked graves, completely by accident of course, but this has nevertheless disturbed the spirits of those buried there. There is a wide variety of paranormal activity that is going on at the Old Faithful Inn, and a number of different apparitions. 8 to blame. One of the most credible reports actually comes from a fire inspector who was able to witness firsthand the prank that one of the male spirits plays with some degree of frequency. Before his very eyes, he saw a fire extinguisher lifted out of the holder, turned around 90 degrees and then placed back into the holder facing the wrong way. Other apparitions that have been reported include a headless bride in her white Philly wedding gown, a male dressed as a frontiersman, a little boy who is very sad, and a woman in the 1890s style attire who likes to watch guests as they sleep. This 3-story building on West 16th Street has seen a lot of action. Since its original construction in 1887, it has been a confectionery shop, housed offices, a nightclub, and a theater. It sat idle for about 3 years in the 1960s, and that could be when spirits moved into the vast, vacant space with so much history. The Atlas reopened in 1966 and has been used for live theater productions ever since, even though at least 2 ghosts have made their presence known. Orbs are routinely reported floating around, things get moved about, the spirits play with the electricity, and their voices have been heard on recordings. Paranormal investigators typically come away with evidence of spirit activity at the Atlas. Constructed in 1937, the Supreme Court building is one of the newer structures being haunted in Cheyenne. Fred Bloom was a successful lawyer in Sheridan for years before being appointed to the Wyoming Supreme Court in 1922. He lived almost a decade more after retiring in 1963 but, after his death, of natural causes. In 1971, employees began reporting odd occurrences near the office that had been Judge Bloom's. Unexplained footsteps are heard in the halls, the light in Bloom's office somehow gets turned on at night, and books get pulled from shelves and dropped to the floor. Also, Judge Bloom was a smoker who favored cigars, and many people who have worked late into the night at the building have reported smelling cigar smoke coming from the haunted office. I want to thank you for listening to our top 7 ghost stories. And until then, good night.